Good evening. Welcome to episode 6 of our season 3, where we are so fortunate to have as our special guest the one and only attorney JBJ. He will share with us his joy and feeling of gratitude for the lockdown and quarantine, which gave him the opportunities and time to do many, many things, the salient ones of which include the following. First, wrote and published 10 professional law and HR books. He taught, second, by digital platform in 3 colleges in 3 universities. Third, conducted no less than 102 webinars, seminars, lectures in international, global, and national conventions, conferences, and learning sessions. Fourth, wrote a daily column that means 365 articles on various topics on politics, global affairs, social, and HR and labor issues. And this one is the most, I would say, fantastic one of all. He's consultant of the Philippine Congress and was assigned to write a new labor code. Our special guest is former Undersecretary of the Department of Labor and Employment and a past president of the People Management Association of the Philippines. So viewers out there, you will now witness for yourself what makes an overachiever, because certainly attorney Josephus B. Jimenez is an overachiever. Attorney JBJ, take it away.
Hello, thank you, Lord, and thank you, Dinah, for this opportunity to share whatever I have done during the pandemic and to share a part of my life with gratitude and joy, as you say, no? And with your permission, I'm now sharing my slides so that I can summarize very briefly what I'm going to present, which we entitle Maximum Performance in the Midst of Crisis. This is actually turning negative times into positive achievements. And my life can be summarized in a diamond. This is the capsule of my life. A diamond with 4 quadrants. One is my service to God, then my service to family, then to HR and law, and the last one is my legacy. Today, we will focus on my service in HR and law. So from the month of March to November, I have written and published, not just written but published. And these are all available in the central bookstore and all over the country. We can get copies of my books on labor standards, labor relations, bar review, and HR on employee discipline, on the exercise of management prerogatives from hiring to retiring. And as stated, I am writing a draft of the new labor code, considering that our labor code is vintage 1974, which is more than 46 years from backward. And the world then was very different from the world today. And it's high time that we should empower our people and our country to compete in a very difficult and harsh business global environment. And that's why the labor code should help us, help our people acquire the competitive advantage so that we can cope with the challenges, the confluence of external and internal challenges that our country is constantly facing. And then I am teaching in 3 universities, and one is very near my house, which is the San Beda College, Alabang. And I am very proud to share the labor law, which I have studied and mastered since 1974 when I became a lawyer, and I was focusing on labor law. And then I'm also teaching legal ethics, the good manners for lawyers, proper behavior, decorum, and proper attitude, ethics, and character of lawyers. And then every day, I have a column in the Freeman, which is a newspaper in Cebu, with a subsidiary of the Philippine Star. And the title of my column is What Matters Most. And I write on any subject, on almost all subjects, from global to terrestrial, from the most sublime to the most trivial, and about lives of inspiring people, about events that shake the world, politics, economics, and even social conflicts and political developments in geopolitics. And then I handle cases also. As a lawyer, I have filed pleadings with the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, the National Labor Relations Commission, the labor arbiter. I have a lot of clients, companies, and individuals. And I give particular assistance to HR people who have problems with their employers. I give pro bono services to some people who could not afford lawyers. No? And then I am also an arbitrator. I am accredited by the Department of Labor National Conciliation and Mediation Board, and I decide cases. In fact, today I decide one case involving a company in Laguna that is suffering from financial problems because of the pandemic, and the union and the employees are demanding for payment of the obligations that arise from the collective bargaining agreement. So I make decisions also. I'm not just a lawyer, I'm also a judge, hearing and deciding labor disputes. And we do this through the digital platform, the magic of technology, even in the most difficult times of the health crisis we are facing. And then, as stated, I have conducted no less than 102 webinars and being a speaker in international conventions on the topic of comparative labor laws. No, I have prepared a matrix. When I was assigned in Kuala Lumpur as a labor attaché for 3 years, I studied in one of the universities in Kuala Lumpur, and I made a thesis on the comparative analysis of all the laws in 10 ASEAN countries, namely Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, Brunei. All of this in a comparative analysis from hiring to retiring, the law of 10 countries. And that is the next topic of my book, no? An ASEAN Labor Code, no? That will be a counterpart to the European Union in Southeast Asia. And then I have serviced more than 20 clients, corporate organizations and individuals. So I am a very busy person. I have no time for other things that other people are enjoying. Well, I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm not miserable. I am very happy person with all the work that I have. Because some people say, oh, you have no time to enjoy life. No, I enjoy life because work is my life. And whenever I don't have work, I'm not happy. So I always look for work. So these are some of the books that I have written. No, I have book on labor standards, on termination of employment, and HR forms, HR forms, from hiring to retiring. So when you give a memorandum, when you sign a contract, when you sign an agreement, I have written it all, 101 documents. It is called HR forms 101, no 101. So all the new HR professionals do not have to reinvent the documents. The documents are already prepared, no? And I have done that. That is my legacy to the new HR professionals. And then I have a compendium on Philippine labor laws. A compendium, meaning everything you need to know from the time an employee is hired until he retired, from hiring to retiring. We compile and capsulize the labor law books. Then the labor relations book on unions, collective bargaining, unfair labor practice, strikes, handling of labor cases in the NLRC, in CMB, Department of Labor, and all agencies, even the Court of Appeals and in the Supreme Court. Then we have the law, the red one is on recruitment, as well as the law on wages and salaries, and the law on employee disability, death, and disease that are work-connected, especially today in a time of pandemic. What happens when an employee suffers some illnesses that are work-related, or he contacted COVID while in the company premises? What are the liabilities of the employers? What are the rights of the employees? And if he dies, what are the rights of the heirs and the beneficiaries? Also, I have a labor law reviewer for the students who are going to take the bar, and the pre-week and the pre-bar. Then for the blue one, for how to terminate employment with honor and dignity. With honor and dignity. Honor and dignity is very important in termination of employment. And for the victims of the termination, how to file illegal cases, also with honor and dignity. And as a man of God, I am very active in our parish as a Knight of Columbus and as a lay minister. I'm also an active member of the Majes Deo encountered couple, marriage encounter couple under the Ateneo SIPAM, no? The Family Council and Family Ministry of Ateneo de Manila. I am an active member of Majes Deo, and I also practice charity in the communities, in the urban settlements. I also go back to my province in Cebu, and I deepen my faith by visiting the Holy Land, the Vatican, the religious sites like last year we were in Fatima, in Lourdes, in Assisi, and all other religious sites in Europe, no? Just to deepen my faith and tracing back the footsteps of Christ. And as a man of the family, I am very happy that all my 5 children have finished college, and some of them with flying colors, and they are doing very well in their respective careers. And out of 5 children, 4 of them have already gotten marriage, and they are on their own. And I have my 5 grandchildren, and my spouse is very active in the church also. And therefore, as a man of the family, I continue to support our members of our extended family. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing, the last quadrant of my life is the legacy. This is a work in progress. This year, I'm going to write my last will and testament. Take note of that, last will and testament. And then my biography. And I am building a small museum and library in my hometown. and all my memorabilia, all my trophies, all my certificates, all my books, no, I have plenty of books, no, will be kept in a museum, in a little museum for the people in my town to go there for free, Wi-Fi and all this for the young to go and learn. And lastly, I want to build a chapel in the elementary school way up in the mountain. I come from the mountains, 97 kilometers from the city of Cebu, southwest, no? From the city of Cebu to my town, Poblacion, that's 82 kilometers. From the town to my barangay in the mountain, that is 15 kilometers. So I am 97 kilometers away from Cebu City. And my barangay is very near the barangay of Chief Justice Hilario Davide. And we are former barefoot boy from the barangay who struggled our way and built our life. And this is my life, no? And this is the diamond of my life. And I thank you, Miss Dinah, for giving me the opportunity to share. And in case you have questions, I'm willing to answer them with gladness and gratitude in my heart.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I tell you, I was speechless for a while, just listening to you. Fascinating, really. I don't think, I tell you, if you go around the world, I can probably count only by the fingers in my hands the number of people who would have that kind of exuberance, that passion, and that love of work. Of course, there's joy in work. There's so much joy. So I agree with you that you find happiness as well by being fully engaged in your work. So, Attorney JBJ, for you at this time in your life, among all the accomplishments, because I tell you, that's a long list of accomplishments that you have, what for you would have the most significance, the most life-changing for you?
Well,
yes.
Thank you for that question. First of all, my greatest achievement is my family. But what is most life-changing is when I decided to leave my job in the private sector and decided to join the government. And the compensation in government is 10% of what I received as Vice President of Pepsi Cola. I abandoned the pleasures of corporate life and embraced a life of poverty. And then I asked the Secretary of Labor to assign me to countries where there are OFW. So for 9 years of my life, I suffered as the servant of the domestic servant. In other words, we have hundreds of thousands of domestic helpers who are Filipinos working abroad. And I was the labor attaché who helped them. Some of them were maltreated. Many of them were imprisoned for not renewing their visa. Some of them were subjected to illegal recruitment, illegal trafficking. The others were raped. And in the middle of the night, I have to go to the desert because a Filipina is being raped, and somebody who passed by asked the embassy to go there. So I have to go there and search for the Filipina. And that Filipina happens to be a Cebuana, my God. So I went there and I saved the life of that woman, and I filed a case. I filed a case in the court against the rapist, who happens to be a father with 3 children. The father and the 3 children plus their friends, they raped this a very young girl, newly married woman from Cebu, and I helped her and I filed a case, and then we won in the case. They asked for a compromise, and the girl received 17 million pesos. And I asked her to go back to Cebu, don't tell the family what happened to her, start a business, and she is now operating uh, a very nice 7-Eleven or something like that, where he is telling his relatives, "I don't own this. My master in Kuwait owns this. I'm just the caretaker." But actually, she is the owner, and I'm sending her to college. She is studying. My God, Dinah, in Kuala Lumpur, I put up a school where all the OFWs there every Sunday, I give them free food and they study. 47 subjects. The engineers who are assigned there and they are well off, they are giving free teaching services to the domestic helpers. I asked Melinda Gates to give us computer. We were given 200 computers in a matter of 1 week. And the domestic helpers are learning computers, and many of them have become office workers, transforming their lives. And also the third one, I organize a scholarship program for OFWs. And 17 domestic helpers are now full-time nurses working in Kuala Lumpur, because I found a Chinese philanthropist who financed their studies. And then I talked to St. Paul University, and the girls studied in St. Paul, and the money of the philanthropist goes directly to the university. I don't receive the money. And now they are very happy because from being domestic helpers, they are nurses. My God, I can tell you a lot about how I really help transforming the lives of Filipinos in other countries. And that, to me, is the most life-changing experience that I ever had.
Oh my goodness, what can I say? Uh, what? Let me just summarize this very quickly, because this is the most significant achievement of your life. You sacrificed a really cushy job in the private sector, and you willed yourself to be in the public sector so that you can help your kababayans. And you have done so much more than just help. You have transformed lives. What can I say? So indeed, even though you have so many other accomplishments in your lives, but I tell you, JBJ, you can ask anybody that even in their lifetime, if they help transform even one life, they would already feel like they have gone to heaven. But you, I don't think you can count by your fingers the number of lives that you have changed for the better because of that sacrifice that you did. From cushy, executive, high-paying job in the private sector to the, well, shall we say, not so high-paying job in the public sector, but in the process, you have changed, transformed the lives of so many of our kabayans. I tell you, JBJ, you already have a place in heaven. And thank you so much. When you mentioned, I was so touched when you mentioned that you helped this particular girl, Cebuana, because you know very well, we are also Cebuana, and you are Cebuana. So that was for me, oh my gosh, you snatch her from death. And that is just phenomenal. Thank you. And I praise the Lord for you, JBJ. Thank you.
Amen.
Please carry on. Please, never mind all those people who are saying, hey, you have no more time to be happy. No, they just because they are not you. But the thing is, you are so happy being the way you are. And that's why I believe this for me is the one of the most inspiring episodes that we ever had. Thank you so much. I can never forget this, that you have given freely of your time, because I know every minute of your day counts because of all the multifarious things that you are doing. So, viewers out there, like, subscribe, and share this with as many of your friends and network as possible. This is something that cannot be paid by money. This will surely contribute to your self-growth and development. And let me tell you that our next episode will be about Cheryl Roche, an American who is a distinguished Toastmaster, a past district governor, and accredited speaker of the Toastmasters International. And she is going to discuss the 7 secrets to connect with any audience. And that is something to look forward to, because life is a never ending journey to learning and development with unlimited vistas.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.